For a long time, maybe for your whole life, you've been looking for safety in the wrong places. You thought it was a person. You thought, if I can just find the right one, if I can make them love me enough, then I'll be safe. They'll stand between me and the world. And maybe for a while it felt like that. But people, they have their own storms. They get tired, they leave. Or sometimes they're the ones who bring the storm right into your home. You thought it was a place, the perfect job, the right house, a different city. You packed up your hurt and you moved it, thinking a new zip code could change the weather in your soul. But you're still there. You're always there. The furniture is different, but the ghosts know how to unpack your bags. You thought it was a kind of perfection. If you could just be good enough, quiet enough, helpful enough, successful enough, then you would earn your immunity. You'd get your membership card to a life where bad things don't happen. But that's a game you can't win, because the goalposts keep moving. And exhaustion is not safety. So when I say to you tonight, nobody will ever hurt you again, I need you to understand what I am not saying. I am not promising you a world without storms. I am not telling you that people won't be cruel, that life won't be unfair, that loss won't find your address. It will. That's the contract we all sign just by being born. What I am telling you is that we are building a different kind of shelter. We are not looking for a better umbrella. We are learning to become the whole damn house. The pain you felt, it came from outside, yes. But the reason it stuck around, the reason it set up shop in your mind and started whispering lies to you in your own voice, that's because it found a home in a space that felt empty. It found a foundation that was cracked. We've been trying to protect a house made of paper by begging the rain not to fall. That ends tonight. True safety, the kind that can't be revoked, that can't be taken, that doesn't get on a plane and move to another state, that safety is an inside job. It's the unshakable knowing deep in your bones that no matter what happens out there, in here you are home, and you are the landlord, and you get to decide who stays and who gets evicted. Think about the strongest, most solid person you've ever met. The one who, when they walk into a room, the temperature changes, they have a calmness. It's not that bad things don't happen to them. It's that when those things happen, they don't collapse. They bend, maybe, but they don't break. Why? Because their center of gravity is inside themselves. They are not a leaf waiting for the wind to decide their fate. They are the tree. Deep roots. That's what we're after, that internal fortitude. That's the foundation. And a foundation is built brick by brick. The first brick is the decision. The decision that you are no longer willing to outsource your peace. You are no longer willing to give the keys to your happiness, your worth, your sanity to anyone else. That power, you are taking it back. It starts with a simple, terrifying question, without the titles, without the relationships, without the money or the achievements. Who are you? And is that person enough? If everything was stripped away, what would be left? If your answer is nothing or I'm scared to look, then we have our starting point. We have found the empty space that the pain has been living in. But here's the miracle. You are not that empty space. You are the builder who can fill it. You are the architect. This isn't about building a wall around yourself. Walls keep out the good with the bad, and they make for a very lonely prison. This is about fortitude. Fortitude is flexible. It's strength with grace. It's the ability to feel the full force of an emotion, the grief, the anger, the fear, without letting it shatter you. Because you know at your core that you are bigger than any single feeling. You are the ocean, not the wave. So tonight I want you to make a commitment just with yourself. No one else needs to know. I want you to decide that you are worth protecting. Not by a bodyguard, not by a lover, not by a parent, but by you. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. And if that relationship is based on neglect or criticism or fear, then every other relationship in your life will be built on that same cracked foundation. We are going to stop looking for a hero to ride into our lives and save us. We are going to become the hero ourselves. The hero isn't the one who never feels fear. The hero is the one who feels the fear, looks at the crumbling foundation of their own soul, and says, okay, let's get to work. Because when you are your own home, truly your own home, nobody can ever make you homeless again. Let's begin. So you've decided to build that foundation. You've made the choice that you are worth protecting. Now, we come to the single important tool in your new arsenal. It's not a weapon you have to find. It's not a skill you have to learn from scratch. It's a power you were born with, but maybe, just maybe, you were taught to surrender. I'm talking about your voice. That thing right here in your throat. The one that maybe caught fire the first time you had to stand up for yourself in the schoolyard. The one that learned to whisper when it should have roared. The one that got comfortable saying yes when every cell in your body was screaming no. We have been taught that being polite, being agreeable, being easy, that this is the way to be safe. But I'm here to tell you that the opposite is true. Silence is not safety. Silence is the welcome mat you put out for disrespect. Your voice is your first and most fundamental line of defense. It is the border of your soul. Before anyone can touch you, before they can drain your energy, before they can disrespect your time or your heart, they have to cross that border. And for far too long, you've been leaving it unguarded. You handed over the keys and hoped they would be kind. Let's talk about that word. No, such a small word, 2 letters. But for so many, it feels like a confession of guilt. It feels heavy. It feels like you're letting someone down, being difficult, causing a problem. You tie yourself in knots trying to find a nicer way, a softer way, a way that won't upset anyone. You give a paragraph of explanation when a single word would do. You apologize for existing, for having limits, for needing space. I want you to understand something. No is not a negotiation. It is not the opening of a debate. No is a complete sentence. It is the final word on the matter of your own body, your own time, your own energy. When you say no without flinching, without apologizing, you are sending a message to the world and, more importantly, to yourself. You are declaring in a language that cannot be misunderstood that you are the sovereign of your own life. And then there's its brother, enough. This is the word you use when the border has already been crossed. This is the word that stops the invasion in its tracks. Enough. It's not angry, it's not hysterical, it is final. It is the sound of a line being drawn so deep in the sand that it can be seen from space. You have had enough of the excuses. Enough of the broken promises. Enough of the disrespect. Enough of being an option when you deserve to be a priority. Using these words will feel strange at first. It will feel like you're wearing a suit that's 2 sizes too big. You'll feel a tremor in your hands, a catch in your breath. The old part of you, the people pleaser, will be screaming in panic. It will tell you you're being selfish. It will warn you that people will leave. And you know what? Let them. Let the people who only wanted you for your compliance leave. They were tenants in your life, not owners. They were taking up space that belongs to someone who respects the border. This isn't about being harsh. This isn't about building a wall. This is about building self-respect. When you start to use your voice to define your limits, a miraculous thing happens. The people who are truly for you, the people who love and respect you, they don't leave. They step back. They nod. They understand. In fact, they will respect you more for it, because they see you respecting yourself. And for the ones who fight it, for the ones who get angry, who try to make you feel guilty for having a boundary, what they are showing you is a gift. They are showing you their true character. They are handing you the evidence you need to see them clearly. They are telling you straight to your face that their comfort is more important to them than your well-being. Believe them. This voice, this power to say no and enough, it's the practice of self-defense for the soul. You are not being mean. You are being sane. You are being responsible for the one life you have been given. Every time you use it, you are laying another brick in that internal fortitude we talked about. You are proving to yourself through action that you are your own chief protector. So start small. Start today. The friend who always unloads their drama but is never there for you. The next time they call, you say, I can't talk right now. No explanation. No apology. The coworker who tries to dump their work on your desk. I won't be able to take that on. Feel the power in that. It's not "I can't," it's "I won't." It's a choice. Your choice. Reclaim your voice, and you reclaim your territory. It begins tonight. Now we come to the quiet part. The part that happens after everyone has gone home. After you've closed the door. After you've used your voice to set your boundaries with the outside world. This is where the real work happens. Because there's a voice that's a lot harder to silence. It doesn't come from a boss or a lover or a friend. It lives right here in the space between your ears. This is the inner narrator of your life. And for many of you, if we're being honest, that verbatim has been a liar, a critic, a saboteur. It's the ghost of every hurt, every rejection, every failure, and it has taken up residence in your mind, and it's paying no rent. You set a boundary with someone, and for a moment you feel strong. Then the narrator kicks in. Who do you think you are? You were too harsh. You're going to end up alone. You don't deserve to be treated that well anyway. You try to take a risk, to step into a new opportunity, and the narrator whispers, "Don't bother. You're not smart enough. Remember the last time you failed. That's because you're a failure. It's just who you are." This is the deepest form of hurt. It's the hurt you inflict on yourself long after the original wound has healed. It's the self-betrayal that happens in the dark. We've been trying to fortify the castle walls, but the enemy has been inside the entire time, sitting at the head of the table, running the show. So the third step, the most crucial step in making sure nobody ever hurts you again, is to disarm this traitor. To rewrite the script, you have to become the author of your own story and stop letting your past write it for you. Think about it. If someone followed you around all day, whispering and he removed was never things you tell yourself. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're unlovable. You're a fraud. What would you do? You'd get a restraining order. You'd recognize that as abuse. But because it's your own voice, we accept it as truth. We think it's being realistic. It's not realism. It's the echo of an old pain, and it's time to stop the echo. You are not the things that happened to you. You are not the names you were called. You are not the mistakes you made. Those are experiences. They are chapters, but they are not the title of the book. The narrator in your head is just playing a tired, old recording. And you have the power to take that record off the turntable and put on a new one. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about power thinking. It's about moving from being a prisoner of your thoughts to being the warden. It starts with catching that narrator in the act. The next time you hear that voice say, "You can't do this," I want you to stop. I want you to talk back. Out loud if you have to. That is a thought, is not the truth. I am capable. I am learning. I am growing. It will feel silly at first. It will feel like you're lying to yourself. That's just the old narrator fighting for its life. It's had control for so long, it doesn't want to be fired. But you are the boss. You have to audition a new narrator. One that speaks with compassion. One that speaks with strength. Instead of, "I'm such an idiot for making that mistake," the new narrator says, "I am human. I learned something. I will do better next time." Instead of, "Nobody will ever love me," the new narrator says, "I am worthy of love and I will not settle for anything less." Instead of, "I can't handle this," the new narrator says, "I have handled difficult things before, and I have the strength to handle this too." You are building a new relationship with yourself. One based on loyalty. If your best friend came to you with a problem, you wouldn't call them a failure. You'd encourage them. You'd tell them they're strong. You'd help them see a way through. It's time to become your own best friend, your own chief protector, your own home team advantage. This is how you stop the cycle of hurt at its source. Because even if you build the highest walls, even if you have the strongest voice, if the enemy is inside the gates, you will never be safe. But when you take control of that inner world, when you become the guardian of your own mind, you achieve a safety that is absolute. No external event, no person's opinion, no temporary failure can shake you at your core, because the voice that defines your reality is now on your side. It's a choice you make moment by moment, thought by thought. The war is won in the quiet of your own mind. All right. So you're building your foundation, you're finding your voice. You're rewriting that inner script. Now we have to talk about the other people, because you can't live in a fortress by yourself. Life is about connection. But connection without wisdom, that's how we got hurt in the first place. We have been taught to see people through a lens of hope. We meet someone and we see their potential. We see the person they could be. We see the good in them, and we fill in the blanks with our own best intentions. We see a red flag and we think, well, maybe it's maroon. We hear a warning and we explain it away. He's just stressed. She didn't mean it. I'm probably just being too sensitive. We have been looking at people with a hopeful heart. And a hopeful heart is a beautiful thing, but it's a terrible compass. It will lead you right back into the same old storms. It's time to trade the hopeful heart for a wise one. It's time to learn the art of discernment. Discernment is not cynicism. Cynicism builds a wall and assumes everyone is guilty until proven innocent. Discernment is like being a master jeweler. You don't look at every piece of glass and assume it's a diamond. You hold it up to the light. You look for the flaws, the cuts, the clarity. You test its hardness. You see it for what it is, not for what it could be or what you wish it were. Most of our hurt doesn't come from evil people. It comes from mismanaged expectations. It comes from giving someone a role in our life that they never auditioned for, and then being disappointed when they can't play the part. We give our trust like it's a participation trophy handed out to everyone who shows up. But trust isn't a trophy. It's the master key to your soul, and you should only give it to someone who has proven through consistent action that they are worthy of holding it. So how do you do this? You stop listening to their words and you start studying their feet. Where are their feet taking them? Are their actions lining up with their promises? When they say they love you, do their feet walk towards you? Do they show up for you? Or do their feet always seem to be walking away when you need them most? You have to become a student of human behavior. Stop getting swept away by the poetry of what someone says and start paying attention to the prose of what they do. A person who's always the hero of their own stories, who is always the victim, who never takes responsibility, that's a pattern. That's data. A person who's kind to you, but rude to the waiter, that's not a bad day. That's their character. A person who respects your no, that's a green flag. A person who pushes against it, who tries to negotiate, that's a red flag the size of this stage. This is about seeing people clearly, not just kindly. It's about recognizing that love is not a feeling they have, it's a behavior they demonstrate. Respect is not something they claim, it's something they do. You have to vet people for the role they're going to play in your life. Not everyone gets a front row seat. Some people belong in the balcony. Some people should just get a ticket to the matinee, and some you need to escort right out of the theater. This is how you stop the cycle before it even starts. This is preemptive self-defense. When you see a pattern of inconsistency, you don't make excuses. You make a note. When you see a lack of accountability, you don't try to fix it. You create distance. You are the guardian of your own energy, and you get to decide who has access to it. It requires you to be brutally honest with yourself. It means admitting that the person you're so desperate to have in your life might be a lemon. And you can't make lemonade by just staring at the lemon and hoping it will sweeten up. You have to either accept it for the sour thing it is, or you put it down and walk away. When you start to do this, you will feel a power you've never known. The power of choice. You are no longer a passive participant in your relationships, just hoping to be chosen, hoping to be treated well. You are the active selector. You are conducting the interviews for the most important positions in your life. The position of friend, of partner, of confidant. Stop giving chances to people who have already shown you who they are. Your piece is too valuable to be left in the hands of amateurs. Now, let's be real. Life isn't a theory, it's not a calm sea. You can have the strongest foundation, the clearest voice, the wisest mind, and still, a wave is going to come. Someone will disrespect your boundary. A crisis will hit. That old fear will rise up in your chest like a ghost you thought you'd buried. So what do you do in that moment? when the theory meets the pavement, when your heart is pounding and the old scripts are screaming in your ear, you don't just hope you'll be strong. Hope is not a strategy. You have a system, an emergency system, because resilience isn't something you're just born with. It's something you build piece by piece, tool by tool. It's the fire extinguisher behind the glass. You don't wait for the flames to figure out how it works. You learn it now, so when you need it, your hands don't shake. This is about moving from philosophy to protocol. So let's talk about the tools. The first tool is for when the world gets too loud, when the panic starts to rise, when you feel yourself about to be swept away. It's the simplest, most powerful tool you have, and it's always with you, your breath. Not just any breath. A conscious one. When you feel that trigger, that flash of anger or fear, I want you to stop. I want you to plant your feet on the ground. Feel the floor beneath you. And I want you to breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4, and breathe out for 6. That longer exhale, that's the key. It tells your nervous system, stand down. The commander is here. I've got this. It pulls you out of the hurricane in your mind and anchors you right back in your body. Right here, right now. The next tool is your script. You're going to have difficult conversations. People will test you, so you have phrases ready. You don't have to be clever in the moment. You just have to be clear. Practice them. Say them in the mirror. I've already given you my answer. That doesn't work for me. I need you to stop. I'm going to step away from this conversation now. These are your linguistic shields. They are pre-forged. They don't require you to think, because in that moment you might not be able to. Then there's your network, your emergency contacts. This is not about having 1,000 friends. This is about having 1 or 2 people who know the real you. The you that's still building. The you that sometimes falters. You identify them, you trust them, and when you feel yourself going under, you have a pre-loaded text message. I'm struggling. Can you remind me not a lone wolf. A lone wolf is just a hungry wolf. You are part of a pack, even if that pack is very, very small. And finally, you have your plan. The what-to plan. What do I do when I feel a panic attack coming on? I will step outside. I will put my face to the sun. I will do my breathing. What do I do when I get the urge to call that person who's no good for me? I will call my sister instead. I will go for a run. I will write in my journal until the urge passes. What do I do when I feel my boundaries crumbling? I will read the letter I wrote to myself about why I built them in the first place. You see, you are taking the abstract idea of safety, and you are turning it into a set of actions. You are programming your own emergency response. This is how you kill helplessness. Helplessness is the feeling of not knowing what to do. So you decide right now what you will do. You take the what if, and you turn it into a I will. This isn't about preventing the storm. It's about knowing you can navigate it. It's the deep, unshakable knowledge that you have a toolkit, and you know how to use every single tool in it. So when the wave comes, you don't pray for a lifeboat. You start swimming with the strength you built for yourself in the calm waters. You are your own first responder. We've walked a long road together tonight. From the foundation, to the voice, to the battlefield of the mind. We've learned to see people clearly, and we've built our emergency kit. But all of it, leads to one final, quiet, earth-shattering realization. It was you all along. The protector you were waiting for, the knight in shining armor, the wise mentor, the loving parent who would finally make everything right. You were looking for them in every face you met. You were scanning the horizon for a savior. And the entire time, the savior was the one looking out from behind your own eyes. You are the one you've been waiting for. Let that settle. Not as a burden, but as the most profound liberation you will ever know. All that power, all that strength, all that wisdom and love and fierce protection you've been begging the world to give you, it was never out there. It was sleeping inside you. We've just spent this whole time waking it up. You don't need anyone to complete you. You don't need anyone to validate your existence. You don't need permission to be, to take up space, to demand respect. The search is over. The longing that has ached in your chest for a lifetime, that feeling of something missing. It wasn't for a person. It was for you. It was your own soul calling you home to yourself. From this moment forward, every relationship in your life becomes a choice, not a need. You will no longer connect with people from a place of emptiness, hoping they can fill your cup. Your cup is already full. You will connect from a place of abundance, from an overflow. You will invite people to sit by your fire not because you are cold, but because you enjoy the light and the company. There is a world of difference. One is desperation, the other is celebration. This is the ultimate safety, the unbreakable security. Because if you are your own source, then no one can cut off your supply. If you are your own home, no one can evict you. If you are your own anchor, no storm can drag you out to sea. So when I looked out at you at the beginning of this and said, nobody will ever hurt you again, this is what I meant. I wasn't promising you a life without challenge or pain. I was initiating you into your own power. I was reminding you of your own sovereignty. The pain will come. It's part of the deal. But it will no longer be a catastrophe that defines you. It will be an experience that you move through, guided by your own inner compass, comforted by your own inner strength, protected by your own unwavering hand. You are no longer the victim of your story hoping for a better chapter. You are the author. You hold the pen. And the story from this point forward is about a person who finally came home to themselves. A person who realized that the love, the respect, the safety they craved was not a destination to be reached, but a presence to be claimed. The search ends tonight. You are the one.